Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Downloading a new day.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
How pathetic can some people be?
Law & Order is the same episode every single time. Like, the same thing happens on every Law & Order, to the point that, like, you see the same types of characters on every Law & Order, you know? Like, the same types of people they bust out. Some of my personal favorites that they have, there is a guy who, while being questioned by homicide detectives, will not stop unloading crates. Oh, doesn't matter to this guy. Double rape and murder? Nah. He's gotta unload that van. Other favorites that they have on the show, there is a judge who allows everything. I'll allow it. But watch yourself, McCoy. She doesn't care what he wants. She will allow it. Judges on that show always seem so bored. They're like, what is it now, counselor? How about a murder trial? Is that not enough for you?
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
That's so funny. And I totally remember the one that was SVU, where they're unloading the van.
Oh, no, there's a lot of episodes.
Where they're unloading the van?
It's always in the first 10 minutes, some guy is unloading crates into a van, and they're, like, trying to ask him questions, and he won't even make eye contact with him.
Like,
Automatically thinks that he's the suspect, but you're like, oh, no, it's just another J.O. because they have this guy on every single episode.
Today we're headed to New Hampshire, where a woman got hooked up with a drug possession. It landed herself in a little bit more trouble after she tried to fix it herself. She's 33 years old. Her name is Lisa Landon. She's accused of using the court's electronic filing system to submit a falsified legal documents. Apparently, she works for the courthouse, got busted with some drugs, and she went into the computer system and changed her court date to had already been, that it had already happened, and she was found not guilty. I don't know how anybody just has access to this, and she got away with it until the forensic examiner showed up to do his, weekly, monthly, quarterly check of the, what's going on. And it was flagged right away when Lisa Landon, who doesn't have this kind of clearance, logged in and changed this thing. So now, in addition to her drug charge, she's facing false impersonation and falsifying physical evidence charges. And now she's looking at some serious prison time, when she could have just got a misdemeanor drug charge.
Should have just taken the drugs.
Yeah. I mean, I guess some people are like, they don't want it on their record. And now look at what you did.
I wonder if anybody's ever
gotten away with this?
Figured that out and gotten away with it, though. I'm sure somebody has.
You wonder, because she figured it out.
Yeah.
She's a druggie. A druggie can figure it out.
But, druggies are some of the most creative people in the world. I mean, they can do anything to help support their habit. True. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, look at all the musicians in the world that were some of the best musicians that have gone before their time. They're all druggies.
Or just druggies and how they're able to hide the drugs,
Oh,
I mean, they're constantly lying, right. So they become very good at it.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely right.
I'm not a druggie, but in my younger years, I lied a lot, and I've become very good at it.
They're very creative.
I used to be very creative.
A way.
Yeah. That's the thing. You a good liar, Cameron?
I'm an all right liar.
We should play two truths and a lie.
Jeremy's a really good liar. Jeremy's the best liar I've ever met.
Oh, I know. The old Jeremy. The new Jeremy.
You are. You still are.
I don't lie anymore. I'm very honest.
The other day we had to lie about something, and
we did not. What?
And somebody, and I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I really let Jeremy take care of this lie. So I called him up, and he's like, "What now, McCoy?"
Congratulations, Lisa Landon. Yeah, we'll take the fifth on that one. You were Jeff and Jeremy's.
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
Don't be a dummy when it comes to your landscape supplies. Go to Peterson U-Cart on Gusta Road, just north of Quickie Car Wash in Atascadero.
We love U-Cart. You save.
I found that we have I don't know if this is an office klepto, or if this is just, let me tell you what I found. Every day we come to work, bring our own coffee cups, but we also have coffee cups and these solo cups in the kitchen. And we've been out for quite some time, with COVID and everything. People got laid off, and the person that normally would restock these things.
Why does everybody like the solo cup here? I don't get it. It doesn't hold coffee. You can't put coffee in it.
Water. I take one and I drink water out of it.
That seems like it's really bad for the environment. I
reuse it. It's very sustainable.
Somebody that is
sustainable, Jeff, because I reuse
anti styrofoam over there, that you would just be going through solo cups the way you do. I mean, you reuse it every day and then you throw it away at the end of the day?
No, I reuse it every day. I drink water out of it.
Write your name on it?
I wash it. No, I take it home.
That's what my in-laws...
I take it home in my bag.
That's such a lie. See, I told you that Jeremy's
I swear
a
to
good
God,
liar.
I take it home in my bag.
I told you that Jeremy's a good liar, and there's no way in a million years. So then if you have your solo cup, then you shouldn't care that anybody's taking the solo cups. The other stack.
It bothers me because somebody here thinks they deserve to take.
You take yours home. You reuse it on a daily basis, right?
Well, yeah. Eventually, I have to retire it. I mean, it's not like
eventually, like at the end of the day,
I put it in the dishwasher. Yeah, you can dishwash these things.
You can't dishwash a solo cup.
Yes,
please
you can.
do not try that at home.
Well, no, you can. I do it all the time. But here's the deal: why does somebody think they have the right to just go in and take stacks and stacks of cups and hide them? So I went in and I got into their stash. I got into their stash and I took some back.
Okay. So?
You don't think that's stealing?
From him?
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. He's always got a solo cup in his hand. A nice fresh one. Not one that's been used.
He takes them out of the kitchen. I mean, stacks, right, Cameron? Stacks. Coffee cups, stacks. And he hides them back in his office.
Why don't you... you like having Sharpies. You're all about Sharpies. Why don't you take a Sharpie and write his name on one of them and say, "Here you go. This one's for you today. Do as I do. Reuse your my."
No, I'm not here to be the
solo cup.
I'm not here to be the solo cup police.
Oh, but you are, because you're talking about it right now as if this is something that really bothers you.
I wanted to know.
It shouldn't be something that bothers you, because you have said that you reuse. And you see what I'm getting at, right?
I do. I reuse
your solo cup. You take it home. You use it the next day. You're washing it. When I say that is an out and out lie,
that is not.
You do not reuse a solo cup on a regular basis. Otherwise, you wouldn't care that somebody's hoarding all the solo cups down in their office.
And sometimes I reuse paper cups for water. It's usually solo though.
Do you wash those through the dishwasher?
No. Those you can only use for a little bit, and then you have to throw them away. Solo cups will hold up, especially if it's the actual Solo brand, which this is a knockoff. Probably from Costco. But my point is, why does that person think they get access to all these cups and nobody else should be able to get access to them?
So you're mad that somebody's got more solo cups than you, even though you claim
I'm not mad.
Even though
I think you're jealous.
You are jealous.
Not
you
jealous at all. You guys don't
reuse-
seem to have a problem with this?
No, and I wouldn't especially have a problem with it if I...
You know what you would have a problem with? If I went in there and I took all the K cups that we get, and I took all those and I locked them up.
What's a K cup?
K cups.
Oh, the
Keurig cups. Yeah, the coffee pods. What if I took all the coffee pods and locked them up?
We do that.
And said, sorry. No, we don't.
Well, and also this
What's
guy
that little
just takes
stash
a little stack, right? He doesn't take
that
all
was
of
given
it.
to us by a guy from the coffee company. It was. Remember, he came in there, Kelly. He goes, there you go.
Even though it's the same coffee company that supplies us with our coffee? I'm just saying that I don't know why this would bother you if you claimed...
It would bother you if you went to go get coffee and it wasn't there and you had to go back to this person's office and get K cups.
So you're not reusing the solo cup as you claim.
I told you I am. I'm not lying.
But you have to go down there and get one. But you know where they're at. Just go get one. If you're reusing it, they'll be like, Craig,
because
Craig's got it. That's right. Go down there, grab one, and then be like, okay, be done with it. I'm sure he's not going to have a problem with you grabbing one.
I don't ever see him, so I would like you to ask him why he takes all the cups and put them back. He puts them back there.
They have guests that come in.
No, they don't. We don't have guests. We haven't had guests since March, April.
I don't know.
If you never see him, just steal his cups back.
Well, I did. I took a few, but I wasn't going to take very many. I took a couple. Because, a solo cup, yes, I do reuse it, but it's good for a week, maybe.
Bull, you're not reusing your solo cup for a week.
Yes, I am.
You're such a liar.
You're
such
find out.
a liar.
How would you know?
Because I know I
have
see
the same cup here every day.
It wouldn't be an issue that the guy has 500 solo cups down the hall if you just knew where to go to get it.
Fine. You
were really reusing it.
Fine. You know what's going to happen?
You got caught in a lie?
I'm going to start taking stuff that they buy here for us that you use, and I'm going to start hiding it. And then you'll see how I feel.
What do I use here?
Coffee. You drink more coffee than anybody here. You should have to
figure
pay
out a way.
That.
I know where
they should dock your pay for as much coffee as you drink.
I know where there's 4 stashes of coffee in this place.
You take
and you know what I
advantage.
do? I go to where those places are.
How many K-Cups do you think you go through a day here?
4 to 5.
Bull. You go through at least 10.
Okay. Well, I see how you've flipped this onto me now.
Well, you're a thief.
You've gotten caught in a lie.
You're an office thief.
I'm not
you probably
lying
got a
about
bunch
this.
of them in your desk, though.
I'm not lying about any of this.
All right. I'm just saying.
There may be times when I notice it's getting low that I take a couple and set them aside and put them in my desk. Yes. Maybe you should do the same. Maybe you're not winning at the game of life or solo cups. Maybe you need to rethink your strategy.
Why do you think everybody in the fridge writes their name on their food and puts it in there? Because of guys like Craig that will just go in there and take it. And
Craig
put
is
it down
doing
in his
fine.
office.
He's got the most solo cups. If he died today, he would win.
Listen, I don't want to get into it with Craig, all right? I don't know Craig that well.
If the playoffs started today, Craig would win.
Well, yeah, he's got all the cups. I don't know if I have that much.
What about when you met Garth Brooks? You had a good conversation with him. I mean, you really, you maximize the DJ life.
I don't know about that, especially knowing some of the other people that work at this building. But yeah, I have been fortunate to do some
maximize the DJ life.
One of my other radio shows, I got to go to Paris and Bordeaux.
Yeah.
That would be the top.
Any of these places that you've been, have you ever thought, man, this place is so cool? Wouldn't it be cool to have a souvenir from here and then take that souvenir? And then make it your own?
No.
As you like to do?
I mean, I know people do that. I had a friend that was in the Rhone, in the Rhone Valley of France, excuse me.
French. World traveler over here. He likes to spend his falls in French.
And the vineyards were just laden with rocks, these big rocks, and he ended up taking one. And now he has it at his house, and he's real happy with it.
Yeah, my son, we went to the Lava Beds this last summer, and we didn't want to buy him anything. Well, we couldn't buy him anything at the gift shop because they weren't letting people into the gift shop because of coronavirus.
Right.
He wanted to go in and get like a souvenir. They did let us buy. You have to wear helmets when you go in there, especially for the kiddos, because they'll hit their head on the rocks and gouge themselves open. So we bought helmets for my daughter and my son, but my son really wanted a rock, so we let him take a rock from the caves. Even though
that was stealing?
That's government.
Oh, you
plan.
didn't buy a rock?
No, we couldn't. They wouldn't let us go in to buy a rock. The gift shop was closed.
I see.
So I was like, well, then guess what? You're getting a rock stolen.
That happened to me in college. Different story, different crime. I went in to use the bathroom after the bar closed. They wouldn't let me in. They said, go around back and just pee on a bush. And then there was a cop standing there.
Yeah, that's not the same. That's not the same
it's
way.
very similar.
Either. It's just all
see
about,
what I'm saying?
That's how you
Camo?
You go about making the story about you.
You couldn't buy a rock, so you went and stole one. I couldn't use a bathroom, so I went outside and I got a public urination ticket. I think it's very similar.
No, it's not similar at all.
Why didn't you just look around?
I did look around. I was behind trees, and it was a sneak attack. It was an ambush, is what it was.
Sometimes
you were set up.
I was set up, I think. Yeah.
When you process conversation in your head, okay, do you go through the steps, and one of those steps are, how can I make this story about me? Because even though it's the biggest stretch, how am I going to make this story about me? When it's already about you.
It's not about me at all.
I asked you if you've ever stolen anything.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm getting back to. I've never stolen anything.
Okay.
But I did pee on a bush and get a ticket for public urination.
You know who Anthony Anderson is? He's the star of Blackish, and he's been in other movies and things.
I know the name.
He got to ride on the First Lady's plane when the Obamas were in the White House. And
she has her own plane?
Yeah. And listen to what he stole.
I did a USO tour years ago on the First Lady's plane, Air Force Two. And this is when I knew we truly had a black family in the White House, because there was great Kool-Aid on Air Force Two. I was on Air Force Two. I took a deck of playing cards that had the First Lady on them, and I took 2 packages of grape Kool-Aid.
I would have done the same thing.
That is a waste. They have playing cards with the first lady on them. Nobody even cares about the first
that's
lady.
awesome. No, that's quite the collectible. Come on. And you know what? She was the vice president during that presidency.
Oh, yeah.
If you really want to break it down.
Yeah, who's running for president now? Don't we remember how everybody...
But she would have won in a landslide if she would have won.
Okay, listen, I'm not trying to get political and piss people off that are voting for Biden, but remember how everybody thought he was kind of a joke back then?
Yeah.
I just think that's funny now.
Oh, well.
We haven't even talked about that. I had to bring it up.
Okay, well, let me tell you this.
Sorry to make it about me.
That's the people's house, so it's not stealing. My taxpayers paid for those linen towels that I brought home with me. I like to think that it was just a return on my investment. I washed them, but I still got them.
He also stole some sheets from the White House. I mean, that's next level.
I've never stolen anything.
If you take the sheets from the White House, I don't know. That's
soap,
next level.
When I stay at a nice hotel and there's that nice soap there, I'll usually put the soap right in my bag, and then they'll bring more soap the next day. I put that in my bag, and that way I have travel soap if I'm going to travel. But that's about it. I think everybody does that. The problem is you and I grew up near, I mean, not like here, like where you can go to the beach, but we would go to the ocean, right? My family, both sides of my family had ocean properties. And so we would spend some time there in the summer, and what do? You go to the beach and you get shells. And you get all these stupid shells. And then you realize, oh my God, well, I don't want these shells anymore. It was cool at the time, but then you got all these stupid shells. So that's why it kind of like at an early age taught me that, yeah, I don't want crap.
Don't take things.
I'm not a hoarder. I'm not a junk collector. I'm not I need free stuff kind of guy, because it just gets to be too much clutter.
Why'd you take all those cameras from that wedding that one time?
You were there.
No, we were doing this wedding in Jeremy.
You were there. You did it.
Jeremy wanted to take all the
about
cameras that the people use. They're disposable cameras.
What are you talking about?
Jeremy's like, hey, let's take these cameras.
Okay, shut up. This is what happened.
Dude, there could be some good stuff on there.
No, I don't want to talk about this because I'm really upset about that we did that. And we did that. We were DJing a wedding. They left. The kegs were still there. We tore everything down. And then I don't know whose idea it was.
Well, they said
it was probably both of ours. And we're like, hey, do you want to have some beers?
Done. They said, lock up when you're done. And we're like, okay, cool. But then there was like a bunch of leftover food and beer.
So we drank.
College students, and the pasta was really good.
We took the pasta home.
So we sat there and we ate the pasta and drank beer till, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And then they had a bunch of cameras on the center of the tables. I was like, oh, we could, probably use those cameras for fun times.
Oh, huh? That's what you said. Yeah. Put it on me, you jerk.
And Jeremy's like, yeah, let's take them.
I don't remember. I was drinking. I'm pleading the fifth.
And it come to find out, we got the cameras home. This really sucked. It was what the wedding party was using for the wedding reception.
Stop.
To take to take pictures, like candid pictures.
Oh my God.
To take candid pictures of everybody there that was at the wedding reception, and we can't return them. We can't. Sorry, we accidentally took these 60 cameras. So
this is the worst thing I've ever done.
They
I'm
have
sick
no
about
memories of their reception.
No, they did. They had a photographer.
Oh my
This
God.
is why,
dude, you're supposed to ransom them.
This is why you don't drink free Red Hook.
I hate this.
When people say, "Okay, there's a keg of Red Hook," yeah, help yourself to some of it. Don't stay there till 4 o'clock in the morning.
The funny thing is,
the funny thing about this is Jeremy's worried about solo cups. Fast forward 15 years.
No, the funny thing is, next year their other daughter got married, and they hired us back.
Well, I don't know why they would hire us back,
but this time they had 2 guys stay there and watch us tear down and leave. Because they probably didn't know if it was us or somebody else. I can't even believe we're telling this story.
And they're like,
this
wow,
is awful. This is the worst thing I've ever done, and I'm still sick about it.
The cameras for our youngest daughter's wedding stuck around. But
you have a daughter. Can you imagine if somebody did this? How can you talk about this and laugh?
Everybody's got a picture, a camera on their phone now. I don't have to worry about it.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.